Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. I offer my Shirasashthaga Pranam at the lotus feet of Sri Ramakrishna, Mother Sharda Devi, and Swami Vivekananda. My heartfelt namaskar to all of you. Imagine that you had not rand but dollar, $86,400 in your account, not rands. I think $1 is 15 rands now, or it might have become more than that, 16 or 17. So imagine you have in your account $86,400 and someone stole $10, only $10 from your account. Now, would you be upset and throw all of the remaining $86,390 away in hope of getting back that person who stole and the lost 10 rand? Or you will move forward and leave with that $86,390? Just think of it. Yeah, now the scenario changes. All of us have 86,400 seconds each day of our life, every day. So somebody scolded you, somebody hurt you, somebody told something to you for 10 seconds. So you go on worrying and getting that attitude and fighting with him for maybe the whole day or the whole week or whole month. You're wasting just for 10 seconds of that. So much of time which you have in your life, precious time. You ruin the remaining 86,390 seconds. Don't sweat the small stuff. Life is bigger than that. Now we have a lot of technology, isn't it? Everywhere it is full of technology. Now the present day has come to artificial intelligence. There are so many disasters in technology. A person think the voice recognition password of his mobile, you know, in the latest mobiles, there is the voice recognition. If you want to put a password or something, that voice recognition, it will open only when your voice is recognized. Otherwise, anybody trying to open it, it will not. Now, when he did that voice recognition mode, just copy his voice, suddenly a stray dog came there and barked and ran away. Now that phone caught hold of that stray dog's voice. Now this person is still looking after the dog to unlock his phone. So our problems with our present day technology and all the other struggles in our life goes on like this. In spite of all that, do you know a better technology that is the first ever cordless phone? The first ever cordless phone was created the moment you, maybe the moment humanity was born, maybe during the Neolithic age or Paleolithic age, when the first human being was born, the first cordless phone was created by God. And the Lord named it as prayer. The first cordless phone, he named it as prayer. This cordless phone never loses signal, you see. Whatever might be the Wi-Fi problem, whatever might be the internet, this cordless phone called prayer doesn't lose its signals at all. And what are the other advantage of this prayer which has been created by God? You never have to recharge it. Use it anywhere. You can get the signals. How is that? How can that happen? How did this happen? You know, it happened because your real nature is that of the same as of God. You have that Lord within your own heart. He's not away somewhere. But then I am identifying myself with this body mind complex, thinking that I am so weak. I am the selfishness. I am the ego. I have so many problems. Why am I identifying with this weakness of mine? Who am I? So only when we go to the funerals, I think many of you have gone to 2 funerals nearby, then only your mind will start thinking seriously about who am I? Why have I come here? What is my role in this creation? What is happening? Everything is meaningless. Every second, people are going by. You know, one of the questions asked by the Yaksha, in the Yaksha Prashna in the Mahabharata, when all the Pandavas had gone to take water in the forest, there was one Yaksha guarding that. That was, he didn't have a form. He was guarding that water. All the other brothers came, tried to drink water. That Yaksha warned, you have to answer all my question, then only I will allow you to. But they were very bold and they had that courage and self-confidence. They didn't care for this Yaksha. They drank the water, they fell down dead. Lastly, it was the turn of Yudhishthira, the eldest brother, Dharmaraya, to come to that pond. He came there, the Yaksha, the formless deity or the demigod, asked him, see, your brothers are water without my permission. I told, you answer my questions, then you can take. But they didn't care for me, they're all dead. If you do the same, you will also fall down dead. Okay, Yudhishthira agreed, I will answer all the questions. So he went on asking so many questions. And Yudhishthira, who was very intelligent and the greatest of the people of knowledge at that time, he answered almost all the questions. And it is very beautiful in Mahabharata, and that is called as Yaksha Prashna. If you want, you can go and Google and ask for Yaksha. All the questions asked. Just ask one question asked by that Yaksha to Yudhishthira, and what was the answer? One of the question was, O Yudhishthira, what is the most surprising thing on this universe? What is the most surprising thing on this earth or universe? To which Yudhishthira answered, the most surprising thing on this universe is every second so many people are dying around us. Every second people vanish like vermin everywhere due to accidents, due to disease. And during the COVID, I think they just fell down dead like any flies or mosquitoes. Still, we cling on to this life and we think that we will live permanently on this earth, and we go on and on and on. So that is the most surprising thing on this earth. That was the answer for the Yaksha Prashna by Yudhishthira. The most surprising is, even though people are dying every second around us, we think we will live permanently. And we forget, we do not try to find the reality behind this and go on. That is the most surprising thing on this earth. There is another great Upanishad called Ishavasya Upanishad. And in that Upanishad, a part of the Vedas, Vedanta, there it tells Te Atmahan in the 4th line or 5th line of that Upanishad. It's a very short Upanishad, one of the shortest Upanishad. The Upanishad tells in the Ishavasya Upanishad in the 4th line, Te Atmahan. What is the meaning of that? Shankaracharya explains, Te Atmahanano Karaha. They are called suiciders. who are called suiciders? Those people who do not try to realize their true nature, those people who do not think of God, that much of time we forget God, our true nature. That much of time we are not thinking of God, that much of time we are committing suicide. Just go back to your life and see how much time you are committing suicide every day, every second. Out of that wonderful 83,300 or 400 seconds, how much second are you committing suicide? Do you think that you go and take a rope and hang yourself or take poison or something, you die or you commit suicide? No, the second, the moment you forget God, that much of time you are not thinking of God, remembering God, your true nature, we are committing suicide. That is the Upanishad Vakya. Shankaracharya explains that. So now, should we not find out who we are? Why have we come here? What is our role? What are we? Yeah, let us take the help of Vedas, our scriptures. Let us take the help of our Upanishad, the Bhagavad Gita and other things, and find out, try to find out. First of all, what does science tell? Who are we human beings? They tell one of our close person from India who has come here. If I go to introduce him to some people, he would immediately get up and tell, I used to introduce him, he's such and such a person. To show off his humility, he used to get up and tell, no, 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 I'm not that person. I'm a human being, he used to tell. So next time I wanted to introduce him because he was a great professor. So I introduced to the other person immediately. Before he stood up and told I'm a human being, I told he's a Homo sapien indica. I introduced him as a Homo sapien indica. So there is a species, Homo sapiens means human being. The name for the human beings, the zoological name for human being is Homo sapien indica. We think that we are all Homo sapien indica. Indica means Indians. Like every animal, if you want, take a cat, it is called Felis domesticata. For the lion, it is Felis leo. For the tiger, it is Felis tigris. For the cobra, it is Naja Naja. Something, so many zoological names are there. Let us forget about that. But for human beings, we call ourselves as Homo sapien indica, Indians, we Indians. Now, let us go deeper. Then, are we the skin? Are we the hands, the head, the brain, our mind, our ego? No, something beyond that, because all of these are changing. Every second it is changing. Every cell in our body changes. Everything is changing. So we cannot call that as ourselves. Every moment they are changing. Something which is constantly there within us. What is that? So, Darwinian theory goes to the theory of evolution. What is evolution? From protoplasm or the bacteria are the lowest type of beings. Even they tell non-living beings got the RNA, right? Ribonucleic acid RNA in the virus is the oldest form of living being. Even there may be nowadays even older than that. After that, the DNA developed deoxyribonucleic acid, whatever that goes on. So the evolution goes on and on and on from the single-celled beings, then came up the multi-celled beings, then the fungus, the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom. Then there are so many species coming up in the animal kingdom. We see that the vertebrates, the invertebrates, and in the vertebrates, finally, we see the simians, the monkeys, and from the apes or the monkeys, the human beings evolved. So we all think that in this way, in the process of evolution, the human beings have come up. Now, the question arises, for thousands of years or millions of years, for example, now, the Paleolithic age or the Neolithic age or the Stone Age, human being was already there. Then all the human beings are like this similarly for so many thousands of years. Where is the evolution after that? Then they tell the evolution is at the state of intellect, intelligence. The brain started evolving. Then the Upanishad, the one of the Vedas, the Rig Veda, It is very, very old, maybe some 60,000, 50,000 years old, or even more older. The highest intelligence can be developed there or seen there, manifested in the Rig Veda. Then where is the development of intelligence after that? Where is the evolution further? Now comes the question. Let us take the help of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda tells, yes, we agree. Our Hindu scriptures and our Rishis Munis, they agrees with the evolution theory of Darwin, and the later on scientists taking up that forward. But the science or the evolution theory stops at one point. Okay, Swami Vivekananda gives the example of science itself telling something cannot come out of nothing. Can something come out of zero? Can something come out of nothing? It's illogical. So Vivekananda tells, this human being who has come up till now, the great Buddha, the highest evolution, maybe Jesus Christ, Buddha, Krishna, Rama, did they come from nothing? From zero? Can that happen? So now Swami Vivekananda tells, our Hindu scriptures tells there is a term called not only evolution, involution. Involution. Today, we shall hear that with the words of Swami Vivekananda itself, then we will get more clarity. Today, the evolution theory of the ancient yogis will be better understood in the light of modern research. And yet, the theory of the yogis is better explanation. The two causes of evolution advanced by modern evolution theory is survival of the fittest, you know that. Then the sexual selection. In the animal kingdom also, you can see for the sake of the mate, they go on fighting with other animals, and that is called as sexual selection. Survival of the fittest, competition. So those two theories are inadequate, says Swami Vivekananda. Suppose human knowledge to have advanced so much as to eliminate competition, both from the function of acquiring physical sustenance and of acquiring a mate, then according to the modern human progress will stop. There will be no evolution and the race will die. The result of this theory is to furnish every oppressor with the argument to calm the qualms of conscience. Men are not lacking, who, posing as philosophers, want to kill out all wicked and incompetent persons. They are, of course, the only judges of competency and thus preserve the human race. But the great ancient evolutionist, the father of yoga, Patanjali, declares that the true secret of evolution is the manifestation of perfection, which is already in every being. There is some perfection in every living being, human being. So manifestation of that perfection, which is already within us, that is evolution. So then what about, why did it itself, that perfection, cover itself, which is already in every being, that this perfection has been barred and the infinite tide behind is struggling to express itself. These struggles and competition are but the result of our ignorance, desire to enjoy, because we do not know the proper way to unlock the gate and let the water in. This infinite tide behind must express itself. It is the cause of all manifestation, competition, and every other thing. Even when all the competition has ceased, this perfect nature behind will make us go forward until everyone has become perfect. Therefore, there is no reason to believe that competition is necessary to progress. In the animal, the man was suppressed, the human being was suppressed. But as soon as the door was opened, out rushed the human being. So in man, there is the potential God, kept in by the locks and bars of ignorance. When knowledge breaks these bars, the God-man becomes manifest. So in each one of us, that God in perfection is hiding, tried to manifest. That we are. That is our true nature. So we should know that we are not ordinary human being, weak, but we are infinite God trying to express in every individual. That is what Swami Vivekananda is trying to tell us. Now, let us go to one of the Upanishadic or the Vedic statement where God was alone. He was alone. Everything was dark. God was alone. He became a little bored, it seems. He wanted to become many. So what is that? He saw that he was alone and he wanted to become many. What is that Vedic statement? Tad aikshata bahusyam prajayeti. Then he wanted to become many. Then started this creation. So now God wanted to express himself. He became many. He saw this non-living nature. He created this world. He tried to manifest himself in this developed nature or the non-living things. His reflection was very, very low, his manifestation. So he created the living thing. So in the protoplasm or the virus and bacteria, his manifestation was less, still more, like that. His manifestation went on becoming more and more. The highest was in the human being, and the topmost is in the saints and those who have realized. So where this progression of evolution goes on, will it stop somewhere? Yes, it will stop when we go back to realize our true nature. We started with God. We started with freedom. When we end, we will end these things, the whole creation and everything end when we reach that goal where we started from. So any example by which Swami Vivekananda will make it more clear about this evolution and involution? Yes, Vivekananda gives you the wonderful example of the banyan tree. Let us take the banyan, big Indian banyan tree. You know that in Bangalore, there is a place called Big Banyan Tree. There, one small banyan tree which grew there, it was allowed to expand. You know, it has this tertiary roots. The roots come down, it goes to the ground, and another tree grows up like that. It expanded and expanded. Now it has expanded to 6 acres of land, one small banyan tree. That is called Big Banyan Tree. In Hyderabad, there is similarly 15 acres it has expanded. So if you give more freedom, it can go on expanding to 100 acres also. So now, where was this 100 acres or 6 acres of big banyan tree? How did it come from? Very minute seed. If you open the fruit itself is this much of the banyan tree. If you cut open it, there are thousands of seeds in that. That seed is so small, you can't see with the naked eye. So where was this big 100 acre or 16 acres or 15 acres of banyan tree hidden in that? Did it come from zero? Then Vivekananda tells, yes, this whole big banyan tree was hidden in an unmanifested way inside that seed. When it got the soil, when it got the manure, when it got the sunlight, water, it started manifesting. So likewise, the whole, just like that, in that small seed, the whole banyan tree is manifest. Likewise, in this living being, in this human being, that infinite Lord is unmanifest, is within us. So he is wanting to come out. That is the struggle, everyday struggle we are having. The bad people go through the bad way of expressing that. Have you seen, why does a thief steal? Why does a person who deceives somebody? Everybody wants happiness. Is a thief stealing for unhappiness? A murderer murders somebody. Why? Because he wants happiness. Everybody is doing it for happiness. So what is God? God is infinite happiness, absolute. So everyone, whether good or bad, are searching that one goal called God only. But they are in the wrong process. You are in the right process. That's all. That's why now Swami Vivekananda takes us to the next level of this, when it goes on expanding and expanding in this process of evolution and involution. So God is already involved in us, just like that big banyan tree is involved. That is why, where do we end? We go on from after this intellectual evolution or development, the next stage is spiritual evolution. Here, the whole thing changes concept. What is that? In the animal kingdom, it was survival of the fittest. What is that? Only the selfish will survive. But the moment you enter the spiritual kingdom, then it is the unselfish will survive only here. So to reach that perfection in the spiritual kingdom, the whole law changes here. Only the unselfish will survive. So every one of us, whether we want or not, whether we know it or not, all of us are constantly, speedily moving towards that one goal, that is God realization, or the Satchit Ananda, infinite existence, absolute, which you may call as God, or somebody may call it as Parabrahma Swarupa, somebody might call by many other names. All of us are moving. Then Vivekananda himself poses a question. Then if all of us are speedily moving towards that one God, then why should we do this sadhana, karma yoga, come to the ashram of a prayer and satsang and do all this so much of difficult situation? Just keep quiet in the house one of the fine day, we will go and reach that goal. All of us are moving constantly. Why can't we keep quiet then, lazily sleep in the house one fine day, we will reach that. So Vivekananda himself poses this question and answers. Now, to reach this human life for the first time, you have taken 8.4 million lives. Then to get that itself, another millions of life. So if you sit quiet, it may take another millions and millions of life. So infinite time to reach that. So infinite time is as good as impossible. You may take infinite time to reach that goal. So infinite time is as good as impossible. Then what is this sadhana? What is this meditation? What is this karma yoga? What is this puja? Why are we doing all this satsang? That is a process by which this time gap, infinite time, is condensed to a short time. You can condense that to a short time. That is meditation. That is karma yoga. That is seva yoga. All that we do, the good work we do, it condenses this time to reach our goal. That's all. So every one of us moving towards that goal, we started with God, we are ending with God. But if you just keep quiet, it might take millions of years, infinite time. Infinite time is as good as impossible. So to make it possible now in this life, you have to intensely struggle, do the sadhana, do the meditation, do the karma yoga, serve others, serve human being in the form of God, and then you can manifest in your own, that self, the Lord within you. That is what Vivekananda is showing us. Who are we? We are that infinite Lord. The more wrong things we do, hurt others, pain others, do the wrong thing, do the selfish thing, the layer gets more covered and covered, the layer of ignorance, and we will go back and back in the process of evolution. The more you do good things, the more you do service, the more you do meditation, attend the satsangs, hear good things, do good things, then the layer of ignorance is uncovered, removed and removed. You are going to manifest that infinity within you. So today, to some extent, we have come to understand who we are with the help of Swami Vivekananda's wonderful combination of both religion and science, physics and metaphysics. Swami Vivekananda's words will make it a little more clear, and then I will give a stoppage to my talk. What is Vivekananda is telling? The old Sanskrit philosopher, in his scripture, he says, it is only the spirit that is the individual. The individual me, or every one of us, that is the spirit, because it is infinite. No infinity can be divided. Infinity cannot be broken into pieces. It is the same one, undivided unit forever. That is the individual man or woman. You are that individual spirit. The individual man, that is the real man. Here, man means human beings. The apparent man is merely a struggle to express, to manifest this individuality, which is beyond, and evolution is not in the spirit. We all thought that the evolution was in the spirit. Swami Vivekananda is telling, no, it is not in the spirit, but it is in the nature. These changes which are going on, the wicked becoming good, the animal becoming man. Take them in whatever way you like, are not in the spirit, in the Atman or your real nature. They are the evolution of the physical nature outside. And it is not in the spirit is only manifested. Now, Swami Vivekananda gives a wonderful example which you have never heard. Suppose there is a screen hiding you from me. Swami Vivekananda tells, imagine a screen hiding you from me, in which there is a small hole through which I can see some of the faces before me, just a few faces. Now suppose the hole begins to grow larger and larger, and as it does, so more and more of the scene before me reveals itself. And when at last the whole screen has disappeared, I stand face to face with you all. You did not change at all in this case. I did not change at all in this case. It was the hole in the screen that was evolving, and you were gradually manifesting yourself. So also in this evolution and involution, it is not the spirit or the Atman or God which is changing or evolving or involving. It is only the nature, Prakriti. So is it with the spirit? No perfection is going to be attained newly. You are already free. You should believe in the words of the Upanishad. You are already free and perfect. What are these ideas of religion and God and searching for the hereafter? Why does man look for God? Why does a man in every nation, in every state of society want a perfect ideal somewhere, either in a man or woman, in God or elsewhere? Because that idea is within you. It was your own heart beating that you did not know. You were mistaking it for something external. It is the God within your own self that is propelling you to seek for him, to realize him. After a long searches here and there, in temples and in churches, in earths and in heavens, at last you come back home, completing the circle from where you started, and your own soul, and find that he for whom you have been seeking all over the old world is within you. You are that Tattvam Asi, Aham Brahmasmi, Pragnanam Brahma, Ayam Atma Brahma. These are all the Vedic dictums, the Mahavakyas telling that you have that Lord already within you. You are perfect. Only try to manifest it. So today we have come to know to some extent who am I, who we are. It's a very, very difficult subject. It takes a lifetime, but at least we have a glimpse of it. Now, some other day we will try to find out who is God. We have come to know who we are, that we are God, but we should also know what is God, isn't it? So some other time when the chance permit, we will try to know God and finally go on where Swami Vivekananda logically, scientifically tells about who is God, who are we, and what is the process of realizing that. Thank you. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Rama